As we reach the second floor, Natsuki anxiously rushes to the manga section, while I slowly follow behind her. Natsuki frantically begins searching through the shelves to find anything related to Parfait Girls, while I'm on the other side browsing at the selection. Considering Natsuki has probably spent much more time here than me, chances are she'd find it sooner. As I'm browsing, I come across some old familiar titles I used to read when I was a kid. Exterminator, Interstellar Pirates. Hey, this is something I haven't read in a long time. I pull off the shelves a copy of the Galaxy War Chronicles. I lost my copies of these years ago. It was one of my favorite things to read growing up. I even remember seeing the movies with Sayori, though it was her more reluctantly seeing it with me so we can get ice cream afterwards. In fact, I didn't even know that these were still in distribution, let alone that they were still making new editions. And it would look like I could just about afford it. I can probably order the previous volumes online somewhere.
Yes!
My train of thought is interrupted by Natsuki's sudden cheering. What is it?
I found it!
Aw, she's so happy. Natsuki proudly twirls around as she clutches the book close to her chest. I just stand there smiling as Natsuki does her little celebration. She really is something. Even though she can be a handful at times, seeing her this happy is quite infectious. She probably doesn't even realize how cute she looks right now. All things considered, Natsuki isn't that hard of a person to make happy, so long as you keep an open and understanding mind. It makes me wonder if I can make her even more happy. Suddenly, I see Natsuki twirling a little too close to the bookshelves. Hey, just make sure you don't hit the shelves.
Oh, come on, it's not like I'm that clumsy.
Heh, well, fair point. But hey, I'm glad you found it.
It was the last copy they had.
I guess we're just that lucky.
Yeah. I'm glad you could share in the moment with me, Hallie.
Hey, it's what I do.
Are you getting anything while you were here?
Yeah, I'm getting this. I proudly show Natsuki the copy of the Galaxy Chronicles.
The Galaxy Chronicles, huh? I haven't read it recently, but it's pretty good. Even if it's a little boyish for my tastes.
Well, maybe we can read this one together too. We can broaden our horizons together.
Well, look at you, getting me too into other kinds of manga. Looks like the student has become the master.
Ah, well, I embarrassingly scratched the back of my head. That's how the literature club works, doesn't it? Stepping outside our comfort zones to read new things.
Yep, pretty much. Anyways, let's head downstairs and buy these. I'm already getting excited just thinking about reading them.
You and me both. Natsuki and I happily trot downstairs to the register. Despite a relatively long wait in line, we're finally able to have our turn at the register. Being the gentleman I am, I let Natsuki go first. However, her cheerful mood quickly disappears as the price comes up on the screen. She's had to have counted her money at least a dozen times before finally letting out a defeated sigh.
Hallie, I don't think I can afford it. It was a lot more than I thought it'd be.
How short are you?
300 yen.
Oh, yikes. It's like $3 whole. We pull ourselves briefly to the side to let the people behind us pay for their things.
This is my fault. I should have known it would have been that expensive. Even though I've been saving up for months now.
Natsuki clenches the manga tightly in an effort to compose herself. I decided to look down my wallet. Not look down at my wallet, just look down it. Well, if we pool our money together, we could afford it. Though I wouldn't be able to buy the copy I wanted. Well, Natsuki clearly wants her copy more than I want mine, so... Natsuki.
What?
She looks as tears start to well in her eyes. If we pool our money together, we can't afford it.
Hallie, no! Don't bail me out because of my mistake.
But you didn't do anything wrong. Trust me, you want your manga more than I want mine. I can get this whenever.
Hallie, why are you so nice to me? I know I haven't always been nice back, but you've put up with me better than anyone ever has. I'm just so selfish and self-absorbed.
No, you aren't. Look, I understand you better than anyone in the club. I know why you're like this. And it doesn't change my opinion on you, it just makes me want to spend more time around you. Natsuki clenches the manga tighter. Look, let me pay for the manga, okay? Natsuki reluctantly sighs.
Alright, fine. Just don't tell anyone about this, okay?
You have my word. Natsuki sheepishly hands over her money and the manga while I quickly walk over to rejoin the line. After a few minutes, I'm able to pay for Natsuki's manga, return my own, and begin our walk back. As we walk out of the bookstore, I hand the bag over to Natsuki.
You really didn't have to do that for me, Hallie.
It's nothing, really. That's what friends are for, right? Natsuki doesn't answer and simply sheepishly takes the bag as we start walking, but after a few minutes she speaks up again.
I really can't thank you enough, Hallie. Nobody's ever been that kind to me.
Well, hopefully I won't be the last person to treat you fairly. I'm just glad I'm your friend, Natsuki. You're not so bad to hang around.
Yeah, you too.
Natsuki blushes brightly as we continue on the direction to the school. The walk back to school was surprisingly quicker than it was to the bookstore. Though it does mean that it's pretty much time for Natsuki and I to part ways until tomorrow. Well, I guess this is your stop.
Yeah, I guess so.
There's an obvious trace of disappointment in her voice as she looks down at the ground. Well, I can stay until the bus comes if you'd want.
Actually, do you mind if I walk you back to your place? I know I have some time before my dad comes home.
I'm thrown off by Natsuki's request. I mean, I wouldn't mind spending more time with her, but I'm not exactly sure why she'd want to walk me back. Though I don't want to screw this up again with Natsuki, so I'll take her up on her off this time. Her offer? Sure. I wouldn't mind.
Great!
I'm not sure what her motivation is here, but I'll roll with it. We start walking back to my place, with Natsuki noticeably walking closer to me than normal. The walk back was mostly silent, with Natsuki almost holding my hand at a few points. I shoot her an occasional look, but she doesn't seem to notice. I can't say I'd be against holding her hand right now. I mean, we've had quite the day together. So, this is where I live. Well, of course you'd recognize the place.
Yeah, I remember.
Natsuki somberly scans up at my house. Is something wrong?
Can you do me a favor, Hallie?
Sure. Natsuki hands me her manga book. Her hand's shaking. Don't even call it a manga book.
Can you hold on to this until tomorrow? Just put it in the closet when you get into the club.
Why?
You know why.
Suddenly, it clicks for me. It's because of your dad, isn't it?
Yes.
She barely squeaks out.
He'd kick me out of the house and disown me if he ever found me reading that.
My anxiety that I've suppressed earlier about Natsuki's home life suddenly bursts out into the open. You know, I didn't say something when they made it one word, but now that they've made one word and two words, I gotta point it out. Natsuki, I know earlier you said it wasn't that bad, but is it really that bad? Natsuki merely nods her head as tears start rolling down her face.
It hasn't been bad recently. He's been in a good mood lately. But I'm scared that one little thing will set him off like always. And he'll take it out on me one way or another.
I drop the manga as I take Natsuki into my arms. You just dropped out on the sidewalk, man? Natsuki, I'm so sorry. You need to get away from him.
Fat chance I can.
She abruptly pulls away from me.
If I leave, he'll find me. He can and will do that. And when he catches me, it'll be the end of me.
What does he do to you? Yeah, what does he do to you do? Does he physically hurt you?
He hasn't in a while, thankfully. But it's not like I'm spared from his harsh insults. And anytime I fight back, it gets worse. I guess because I've put up with this crap lately, he's found me tolerable.
I guess that's all you can do for now until you can get away.
Believe me, first chance I get, I'm getting away from him.
Well, look, if anything ever happens, just come to me, okay? I mean, I guess walking from school to here helps make this all a little more familiar to you, right? Natsuki lets out a little chuckle.
Yeah, it does. I'm sorry for not telling you the full truth earlier. I didn't want you to worry about me.
I've been worried. Ever since you told me, it's been nagging in the back of my mind. Look, if something ever happens to you, I don't know what I'd do. Nothing would be the same without you, Natsuki. Natsuki stares off with a mixed expression of guilt and embarrassment.
Well, it means a lot that you really care about me, Hallie. I'll come to you if I ever need you, okay?
Okay. We stand in silence for a few moments before Natsuki breaks it.
Well, I gotta head home. All the emotions aside, I had fun today, Hallie. You really did make this a better day than I thought it was gonna be.
I'm glad I helped.
You did. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
You too. We embrace each other one last time before Natsuki walks off back in the direction of the school. I smile to myself as I watch her walk off into the horizon, knowing that I helped make her day. I pick up the bag containing her manga and enter my house. Okay, so it was in a bag. maybe it didn't get scuffed completely. After finishing everything I need to do for school tomorrow, I lay on my bed, ready to fall asleep. Today was a lot better than I expected it to be. I was expecting it to be a total train wreck, figuring that Yuri was going to pull me aside to talk about her letter. But fortunately that didn't happen, even though that didn't stop us from having a clash earlier. At least I got closer to Natsuki. A lot closer. And knowing the full extent of her situation at home, I know I have to be there for her. But to what extent can I support her? I mean, it's starting to show that we have feelings for each other. Sooner or later, one of us is going to end up confessing. But I still have to deal with Yuri. I have no idea what I'm even supposed to say to her. I'll just try to put this on the back burner for now. I should just try to get some sleep. Hopefully I don't have another horrific dream. I shut my eyes as I uneasily drift off to sleep, praying for nothing to happen. But something did happen.
Why suck up to her? Just to get on her good side, which doesn't really exist. She's still going to use you.
That was an odd thing to change, but okay. Oh, she's gonna go creepy in her face, like, oh no. No, Natsuki. But I think I've pretty much decided on my feelings for Natsuki. I should have, yeah. What's the context? Oh, I don't know. I'll look over to read the text. Oh, she sent me a text. Okay.
Pretty good. I'm reading the manga we got yesterday. It's freaking awesome.
I guess I handed it off to her at some point. I let out a slight chuckle to myself. How come you didn't study last night? I would have helped.
I saw you woke up with Natsuki and I didn't want to disturb you guys.
I feel my body nearly tremble with horror as I quickly become afraid at the prospect that Sayori might be getting a completely wrong idea here. We just hung out, Sayori. 2 words in context. Natsuki and I went to the bookstore to pick up the latest edition of Parfait Girls.
I believe you.
You would have been welcome to tag you would have been welcome tag along. We wouldn't have mind.
I wouldn't have wanted to get in the way of you two.
Sayori, you wouldn't have, and you know it. You're not a burden.
I'm having a hard time believing that, Hallie. It's not like you've been around me much lately.
I know.
So I kind of have a hard time believing that you would want to willingly help out now. Don't you think I can handle things by myself?
Not really, no. Destroyed. There we go. When's the next thing happen? Oh, it's confession time. He's gonna bomb the club. I just want to be friends.
I tell you how I finally feel. That all you told me is that you want to be friends.
It's just that I have my eyes on someone else right now.
Save it.
I wish it didn't have to play out like this. To a degree, I like Yuri the same way, but I have a great opportunity with Natsuki. After how long it took for her to open up to me, I have to admit I'm interested in her. And with what she told me about her life at home, my train of thought is interrupted as I hear screaming from inside the club room. Oh no! Part of me wants to simply walk away and never come back to that room. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. But I asked for this, so I have to fix it somehow. I stand up and reluctantly open the door. And then they fight and fight.
Don't pretend like you genuinely care about me. Stop trying to make yourself look good in front of him.
Man, the typos in this mod sometimes.
Well, I'm glad you made the right decision for Natsuki's sake. I'm sure Natsuki will appreciate you trying to stay loyal to her.
I've just tried to be the best I can around her. I wish I could say the same for Yuri, though.
Well, we'll get everything sorted out with her, don't you worry. She just needs a chance to cool down.
Do I really want to know how she started all this?
Well, she pretty much barged in and started screaming and cursing at Natsuki that she just broke down crying at her desk.
Wow.
Yeah, she's never been mad like this.
Oh, great. I can only imagine how Natsuki's going to deal with this. Fighting. Fight. Look at him go. Yep. We're almost there. I'm not entirely sure if I want to be around her or anyone right now. What she said to Sayori crossed more than one line with me, even if she doesn't know about Sayori's depression. But maybe she wants to apologize for acting that way. It was a tense situation all around, and I guess in more than one way, we're both partly responsible for escalating things. I want to make things right with her, but she's still rather stubborn. Something which I'm in no mood to put up with. Should I let Natsuki come over? Yes. Yeah. I gotta save yourself, Natsuki.
I know you didn't mean to hurt Yuri. In all honesty, as much as we fight, I do want to be her friend. But I understand if everyone hates me. I just piss off everyone that's close to me.
Natsuki starts sobbing as I sit frozen in shock. I know Natsuki's had it bad outside of school, and while there's certainly no way she can undo the hurt she's caused Sayori, I'm glad to at least hear from her that she knows she's in the wrong. I sit there frozen in shock as I attempt to process the situation. Didn't he already say that just a second ago? Where was it? Yeah, there it is. They also repeat themselves a lot in this mod, I'm noticing. It just keeps happening, man. I've never seen Natsuki come so clean about her mistakes. Maybe I shouldn't be so mad at her. I wait for her to collect herself before I say anything. Well, I'm glad that you've come to recognize what you said back there was wrong, but I'm a pretty big reason for what happened as well, so I'm really sorry that all had to happen. So, I shouldn't be as mad as I am at you. This really is all my fault. You know, and another thing, I don't buy that it's his fault. Him turning down Yuri is just being honest. It's not his fault Yuri reacted that way. He was honest with her. I let on Yuri and hurt her. No, you didn't. And who knows who else I've hurt in the process. I'm just so confused about everything right now.
I know what you mean. You know, after everything we've been through, I thought that you might have liked me more than just as friends. Even though we haven't been talking for very long, I thought I was able to tell that you really weren't like most boys. You actually took me seriously. You were kind, funny. A bit of a mediocre taste in manga, but you actually cared about how I felt and what I was going through. I thought you weren't going to try to play me because I looked like an easy girl to get or something. But I messed up by showing just how awful I am.
My face is flushed with embarrassment as Natsuki finishes her speech. I never expected to have that kind of impact on her in such a short time. I try to fumble out some sort of answer. Well, Natsuki, there were more words. Oh my god. I really appreciate everything you said here. I don't hate you because of what happened earlier. In fact, I don't hate you at all. I'm glad you recognized what you said was wrong and that you're willing to make things right with Sayori.
I think I owe everyone an apology at this rate.
Well, I think I do too. We both let out an awkward chuckle before the room returns to silence.
So, how's Sayori?
I haven't had the chance to check up on her yet, but I'll text her later.
Okay. Well, I'll try to forgive you for what happened earlier, and I just can't deal with it right this second.
I understand. We sit for the next few minutes in silence before Natsuki speaks up again.
Do you think the club's ever going to be the same?
I don't know. Hopefully we can all put aside our differences in time for Monday, at least, but after that, who knows?
I don't want the club to disband, Hallie. It's really the only place I can call home.
I know. I'd hate to see the club break apart, too. I have no idea what's going to happen with Monica and Yuri. There's no telling if there'll even be a meeting tomorrow.
Sayori would try to come, wouldn't she?
Knowing her, probably. She's not one to hold on to grudges. But hopefully we can all apologize to each other and go back to being friends.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you let me come over to hear me out.
I suppose it's the least we could do. I trust that you'll stay to your word and to work things out with Sayori, at least.
I will. And hopefully I can make things right with Monica and Yuri, too.
I'm sure we'll be able to put this behind us.
Yeah.
Natsuki nervously glances down at the floor. It's going to be tough to get things back to the way they were. But at least Natsuki and I smoothed things over for the most part. Let's just hope it goes just as well for tomorrow.
So I guess I'll see you tomorrow at the club then.
I'll be there. Just let me know if you see Monica or Yuri around.
I will. And let me know how Sayori is doing.
I'll be sure to.
Well, I'll get going now. If I stay any longer, I'll miss the bus.
It's alright. Thank you for everything, Natsuki. I'm glad we worked things out.
Yeah, me too. Well, later, Hallie.
See you tomorrow. I lead Natsuki out the door and gently close it behind her. I watch out the window as Natsuki walks off to the horizon in the direction of the nearest bus stop. That wasn't too bad, I mumble to myself. I'm still a little surprised Natsuki went out of her way to directly apologize to me. Even though she was awful to her during that fight, I'm glad that she recognized her mistakes. It's going to take time for Natsuki and I to move past what happened, but I don't think it changed my feelings for her that much. I guess I'll find out for sure tomorrow. Yeah, nearly there. This should be like the last new stuff. Wait, why did we get a slip of paper there? What was that?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Of what? Oh, she actually trusts me? Sure, whatever.
Well, right now, I'm not so sure. But I need to get this off my chest. I'm glad we at least sorted things out between us yesterday. It crosses one thing off our massive to-do list.
That's true. Natsuki tries to shoot me an optimistic smile, but she can tell I'm not really in the mood to return the favor.
Yeah, tell me about it. This sucks. I never wanted any of this drama.
No one did. I just wanted us to all get along. I didn't know that us growing closer together was going to piss off everyone else.
Well, we can't go back and change that. But despite all this, I'm really glad we got to know each other. You've really been a great friend to me, Hallie. I honestly couldn't have asked for anyone better.
I can't help but smile at Natsuki's compliment. At least we can both go into this with a somewhat good mood.
Say, since we have some time on our hands before everyone else starts showing up, you want to read some manga?
You know it.
Great.